I was sitting down one day, contemplating life, realizing that, we're halfway through the year, right? Already. It does not feel like it. And I realized, I don't remember anything that happens. So, I decided to make a complete timeline of 2024 so far. And boy, was it hard. Okay, some ground rules. Number one, this presentation is only pop culture or miscellaneous things that were widely important to pop culture this year so far. Politics are not involved in this unless it is funny or wildly important to pop culture. Number two, there are like 15,000 things that happen per day, and it's a lot. So I did like the maximum 3 things that happened that month that were important, plus some honorable mentions because, there are some things that I kind of wanted to mention. And then finally, this video is for fun. It's not serious. Please don't take it seriously. All right, moving on to number one. January, the first month of the year. It's the new year. We're happy. Fireworks. Woo! New Happy New Year. We did it, right? Everybody's talking about New Year resolutions, getting swole, things like that, right? And everything is just great. But it's not. Not even a day into this, we get to Gypsy Rose. Technically, this happened on December 28th, 2023, when she was released from prison after 8 years. But on January 2nd, she defends her now ex, making a viral Insta post saying, "Ryan, listen to the haters. I love you and you love me. Do not owe anyone anything. Our family is who matters. If you get likes and good comments, great. If you get hate, then whatever, because they don't matter. I love you. Besides, you're jealous because you are..." I'm not reading this. It's not happening. Anyway, in that same month, she released an ebook talking about her life. She went on a little bit of a press tour and has 500,000 followers on Instagram. And she has not stopped being relevant ever since. I kid you not. Now, she has another boyfriend and she's pregnant. Moving on to the teleportation of a man on trial. The next day, literally, there was a video of a man who was on trial getting read his sentence, right? And he was denied probation. And he decides, I'm going to jump this woman. He runs, flies over the podium, and tackles her down. Do you know how tall a podium is? It's tall. It's around 45 to 48 inches. He jumped that amount of inches. Anyway, he ended up getting another trial, and he ended up getting so many other charges. Like, he got to summarize, he pleaded not guilty, and he ended up getting like 4 years in prison, I think. Moving on to, finally, the first of the 2024 rap battles, Megan versus Nicki. I will only be stating facts on this part because y'all are crazy. And I don't want no smoke. Alright. On January 26th, Megan Thee Stallion drops Hiss with lyrics that look to refer to Nicki Minaj's husband being yeah, I can't say that on here. So, the lyrics that started it all was, "These don't be mad at Megan. These mad at Megan's law. I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all don't want me to start. You never finna check me. Every chance you get, bet you're weak. Won't address me." Not even a few minutes after this was released, Nicki Minaj goes on Instagram Live, and she is very obviously upset. She gave us her fans a preview of what we now know to be Bigfoot. After this, Nicki decides to retweet responses 4 days on end, and Megan Thee Stallion stays silent. Until 3 days later, Nicki Minaj decides to release the song that was previously previewed on her Instagram Live, Bigfoot. And she decides in that song she was talking about Megan's late mother, the fact that she got shot in the foot, etc. I will now read a part from Nicki Minaj's song, Bigfoot. This little Megan talking about Megan's law. For a freebie, you can hit Megan raw. If you a ghostwriter, party in Megan jaw. Shots thrown, but I still ain't let Megan score. Bad, she like 6 foot. I call her Bigfoot. The fell off, I said get up on your good foot. And that is it. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. Honorable mentions! Yay, we made it. It's the end of the month. Alright, the door that fell off the Alaska Airlines flight and started the descent of the Boeing company. Yeah, we all know what I'm talking about. Halle Berry decides to announce that she gave birth to a baby boy named Halo. Just out of nowhere. It was like, hey, I gave birth. The beginning of the Jonathan Majors trial and the descent, and the fact that he literally lost all of his jobs, including the job as King and the Conqueror. Yeah, Elmo asks how everyone is doing and gets a full trumpet from literally everybody. And I mean every single person on. Basically, because this was crazy. And then the Cat Williams interview, which we all know, and the Jeremy Allen White ad, which we all know. Moving on to February. You know, it's still cold. It's still the new year. Oh God, okay. UMG decides to take away music from TikTok. This typically happened on January 31st, but it was only noticed on February 1st, so I'm going to put it in February category because I can. After a dispute between Byte Dance and UMG decides to take away all music from the artists they manage. Obviously, nobody was happy about this. Eventually, thankfully, it did come back, but it took them 3 months to figure it out. It came back in May. Moving on to, we all know what this one is, the Super Bowl. Just the whole thing. Like, it was crazy. On February 11th, the Usher performance was one to talk about. Especially the one part that we all know. Where Usher decides to get all touchy-feely with Alicia Keys. Yeah. Get a room. Beyonce decides to break the internet. Wow. What a shocker. And she releases 2 songs from her up-and-coming album that she announced on the same day. And also she stars in the Super Bowl ad. Yeah. Anyway, a lot more happened. You know, the Super Bowl ads were very confusing, very weird. But guess who won again? Yes, it's unbelievable. The Chiefs, they won again. Yeah. Moving on to this. On Valentine's Day, I know, Risa Tisa, I think I'm pronouncing her name right, I don't know, posts a 50-part series on her TikTok account about her frankly crazy story about a man she refers to as a pathological liar. I have not watched the series. But girl, from what I've heard, he was not a pathological liar. He was just crazy. To summarize, because I don't really know what happened, it went viral and now she has 1 million followers on TikTok. She referred to this man as Legion. People say they found him, but we don't really know that for sure. I will watch this eventually. And you should too if you haven't, because it seems very good. Moving on to honorable mentions. Yeah, not a lot happened other than that. But, you know, we got the Grammys, where, you know, Jay-Z gave that speech about the fact that, you know, the Grammys are very selective with their awards. Was he spitting? Yes, he was. King Charles III got cancer. Prince William went viral in a photo where he was talking like this. And there were 3 women that we all know, they were celebrities. And they all looked freaked out. I don't know what he said, but yeah. Next, Willy Wonka immersive chocolate experience. I'm not even saying a word about it because we all know what happened and it was not pretty. AT&T lost all connection. If you had an AT&T subscription, you couldn't use anything. And finally, people were pissed at Punxsutawney Phil because he gave a prediction that spring was coming early, and it was a lie. Because in March, there wasn't a single day where it wasn't at least a little cold. And I was very upset about it. The Oscars. On March 10th, the Oscars commenced. And there was a lot that happened. But not really. It wasn't as eventful as other years. Oh! But, to summarize, the Oppenheimer movie completely swept. They got 7 Oscars, which is wild. Lily Gladstone lost Best Actress to Emma Stone. I literally cannot be mad about it because I love Emma Stone. But at the same time, I really wanted Lily to win. Like, really badly. Barbie won basically nothing. The only thing that I remember that they won was best song for What Was I Made For? Deserved, by the way. John Cena walked on stage completely naked. And it was hilarious. And finally, but not finally, Spider-Verse 2 lost to Studio Ghibli. Again, I want to be mad, but I can't. Because Studio Ghibli is so good. But Spider-Verse was so good. Oh my god. Moving on to some other notes. RDJ won his first Oscar, period, Iron Man, and Cillian Murphy won his first Oscar as well. Da'Vine Joy Randolph won her first Oscar for The Holdovers, and Wes Anderson won his first Oscar, Best Short. Alright, that's it. Moving on. To Quiet on Set. No jokes will be made about this one, because this was crazy. I never watched it. I heard all about it, and I don't want to watch it because I don't want to see what horrible things commenced back then. But on March 17th, around March 17th, March 18th, Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV, was released on Max, basically showcasing the horrific, toxic work environment that the child actors had to endure back then in Nickelodeon. So I'm going to say to this, because this is crazy. I don't make a single joke about this because this is horrible. And there's more stuff they left out, which means there's more horrific stuff that happened. And that's crazy to me. Insane. Moving on to more fun stuff. Cal worked harder. On March 29th, Beyonce releases her Act 2 to her previously released album Renaissance that was released in 2022. This was met with both critical acclaim and backlash. Backlash from country singers, some of them, and some country listeners who were just not cool with her putting her foot in their genre, exactly. And many loved it because of the way that she was jumping into the country genre. You know, she's technically from Texas, so that's kind of her genre too. And she also brought a lot of black country artists along with her on the album. It was really cool. Now, she said that she made this album because she was inspired by an experience that she had many years ago where she did not feel welcome. And we think that she's referring to 2016 CMA Awards when she performed with Dixie Chicks, and there was a boycott because her presence was announced. I don't really have anything else to say about this. It was crazy when she released this because almost every single song was trending and on my For You page, and I basically learned like a bunch of the dances. Moving on to honorable mentions. Diddy raids. P. Diddy got his house raided by Homeland Security because of many allegations of violence and abuse. And then we learned later on that he literally attacked a singer. I don't know if they were dating or not, but he attacked her in a very brutal way. Princess of Wales got cancer. Kate Middleton got cancer. She was just gone for a while, and she ended up announcing, hey, I got cancer. So right now we think she's doing fine, but you know, they're kind of secretive over there, so we don't know what's going on with her. Titanic Part 3. I will not be saying anything about this because we all know what's... Actually, no, you know what? Basically, some billionaire wants to try again, and last time it ended up with billionaires just dead. So I don't really know why he's trying to do that, but you will not see me on there because I have no money. And finally, Lizzo quits. She just released some kind of like Instagram story saying, hey, I quit. I can't deal with this anymore. I don't know if she did quit like fully, but yeah, whatever. Moving on to April. TikTok is gonna get banned. Maybe. Congress signed a bill that would ban TikTok if their parent company, ByteDance, did not sell its stake to an American company on April 23rd. And Biden signed it. But the funny thing about this is TikTok ended up suing the government because what they were doing was quote unquote unconstitutional, which is absolutely correct because they should not be doing this. Moving on to this. I don't want to talk about this, but it's very relevant. On April 1st, Jojo Siwa releases her new single, Karma, as part of her rebrand, and it is something. Yeah, it was met with like immediate backlash and clowning, like immediate, like not even few hours after it was released, immediate backlash. And there was a dance she made, and she wouldn't stop doing it. And it got so popular, not because of the moves, but because of her aggressiveness in doing this. And then later on, she releases a music video, and it's a video. It's a video. That's all I'm gonna say. Notice how it says April 1st? Yeah, this could have been a joke. Like a little bit, April Fools. No, it's very real. April 5th, a 4.8 magnitude earthquake hit New York City and its surrounding states. And I kid you not, I saw so many videos, people just dancing around while this thing was happening. It was like it kind of came and went. So yeah, but one thing I will say, no matter what universe it is, no matter what medium it is, whether it's a TV show, movie, real life, comic, New York City never catches a break. Never. Moving on to honorable mentions again. Yay! I love this part. Taylor Swift releases an album on April 19th that she announced when she won Album of the Year at the Grammys. And I will say nothing about this because I don't want Swifties against me. Total solar eclipse, historic moment. Oh my god, solar eclipse. It was amazing though. It was cool. O.J. Simpson died. I'm gonna be so honest. Before I was learning about him, like last year, I thought that man died already. Challengers. Yeah, that movie was crazy. I never watched it. I saw clips of it. Huh? Hello? Oh, by the way, Zendaya about to get her Oscar. I'm just gonna say it here. Zendaya's about to get her Oscar. May! It's finally hot. Yay! I've been waiting to do this one. I can't talk about all of it because it's been happening for literal decades. But from what I can say, J. Cole is probably one of the smartest men alive for just apologizing. Because this was crazy. Basically, technically started happening in the 2010s, but it escalated in March whenever Kendrick said his line in Like That. It's technically still happening, by the way. It's still happening. Because not even a few weeks ago, on 4th of July, he released a music video. And it was hilarious to see how badly Drake lost. Woo! On May 30th, or May 31st, I'm not really sure which one it is, but all I know is that former President Trump becomes the first former president to ever be convicted of a felony. He got convicted of 34 charges. 34! Anyway, he's also the first former president to get a mugshot. That's it right there. Anyway, I'm moving on to honorable mentions. Sorry. The carriage scene from Bridgerton was very well received, I guess. The very conscious 4 seasons on that baby. The Dance Mom cast reunited. Most of them did. Nia wasn't there. Maddie wasn't there. Mackenzie wasn't there. I'm surprised Chloe went. The Met Gala, or as we all know it as, the Hunger Games, because y'all just not supporting Palestine is crazy to me. Free Palestine, by the way. Justin Bieber is about to be a father. Yeah, I know. And then Nicki Minaj got arrested. Again, I'm not saying a word. June! We're getting closer and closer to this month. The presidential debate. This right here is accurate. Can we even call it that? Because what was this? I don't know. I didn't watch it because I was on vacation and decided, you know what? I'm not saying or seeing a single thing on social media. I'm just gonna dip and not focus on America and be happy. And I was. And then this just comes up on my radar. What was this? Because I can't tell you. I don't know a single thing that was said. I can't even make a summary about it. I don't want to look at it. I didn't watch it. I still have not watched it because I don't want to. But I can say even though I have not watched it. Not a single thing was said here. It said everything and nothing. Moving on. Yeah, Branch got a mugshot. Branch. He got a mugshot. He was arrested for driving under the influence, which, if you're on a tour, or if you're going on a tour, probably would be best to not put your entire career at jeopardy. Maybe that's just me. Moving on. So honorable mentions. Yay! Sabrina Carpenter finally getting the recognition she deserves. Espresso. Please, please, please. Yes, sir. Every artist's favorite artist. Chaperone. Love her. Hunter Biden got convicted. And then the BET Awards, which honestly, not a lot happened, but like, also some things happened. Anyway, moving on to this month. By the way, it's currently July 31st. It's 5:31 p.m. I don't know what could happen in the next few hours, but if I miss something, I will be laughing because that would be funny. I got back from my vacation 2 days before this happened. On July 13th, Trump almost got shot. Well, he did get shot, but it just hit his left ear. Yeah, I literally cannot say anything about this because I don't know what could happen to me. But that's the picture. And that's something he said whenever he got shot. Moving on. The Olympics! USA! USA! But not really. Anyway, we currently have won 27 medals, with 4 of them being gold. The women's gymnastics team just won gold in teams gymnastics, and Simone Biles is now the most decorated U.S. Olympic gymnast in history. Period. Go girl. There's a guy named Steven with the pommel horse. It's adorable. The Sunny and Simone TikToks after they won. Very cool. Moving on to this. Not even a week after the assassination attempt, Biden drops out the race. And guess who he endorses? Kamala Harris. I kid you not, this is the most craziest redemption story I've ever seen. Not even 3 days after she was endorsed, she raised $100 million. She won her lead against Trump and has further popularized what we know as Brat Summer, because Charlie XCX posted Kamala is Brat, and they ran with it. Moving on to nothing, because that's it. Again, it's currently July 31st at 5:33 p.m. If something happens in the next 4 hours, that would be hilarious. Hopefully I didn't talk too fast in this. This is my first video on here, so yeah. Hope you enjoyed. I'm probably going to do more of these. I don't know what I'm going to talk about next, but it's kind of fun to do these. Okay. Bye.